Welcome to episode number 312 of the Keep Up Podcast.
Where the end is only the beginning if you forget where it started.
That's right, Tim.
Do you have a hard time with my name? Three letters is a lot. I get it.
It's too many, in my opinion.
Am
I too loud?
You know, people don't mess up my name very often.
People mess up mine almost 100% of the time.
That was what I was going to lead into. Is like, how often? But it's usually they just like miss a letter or something, right?
They add one. They want my name to be Brent so badly. Or sometimes they take one out and replace the T with a D and I'm Brad. It's Brad or Brent. So that's why if we ever meet for the first time and I introduce myself with the hardest T's you've ever heard.
I am Brett.
I'm just trying to let you know. I've done it before and immediately felt rude. I'm Brett. Brett. I'm so sorry.
Just make sure. I was laughing because we met someone at PAX, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, relax. We'll talk about it.
And they called me Tom. I was like, I'm Tim. And they're like, hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom. The immediate mess up is my favorite.
It's the best.
Yeah,
but
I love
it's loud, and they're old, and that's just how it goes.
The worst is I'll give them two. You know what I mean? I'll be like, hey, I'm Brett. And they're like, Brent. And I'm like, no, Brett. And they're like, Brad. And I'm usually just like, sure. Whatever.
Brett's, pretty common, I think. I've met a few Bretts in my life.
How many?
There was Brett in high school, Brett in elementary school.
I was in all those schools. You're just thinking of me.
Just in all those grades.
I went to high school. I went to elementary school. You're just listing me at different times in my life.
I've known at least 3 to 4, but they all have one T in their name. You're the only one with 2 T's.
They're not even real Bretts.
You uniqueums.
Speaking of real Bretts.
Yes.
Welcome to the Keep Up Podcast, where I'm Brett and Tim's Tim.
That's me.
We talk about all the things we consume, be it media or food, and let's just call attention to the potential elephant in the room. Some of these lights went out.
I didn't even notice.
And it might be fine, but we really won't know until the editing phase.
Yeah, as usual. I probably have a bunch of space over here and the usual problems we have, but we also just have weird lighting. But I'm not upset about it.
Yeah, me neither. Hopefully it looks fine. It's just, potential electrical issues in the studio here. So for the we went to PAX 2025.
What a transition.
And boy, was it PAX.
It was so paxed that I felt paxological. No?
I don't think so, Tim.
Okay, I'll try. I'll keep working at it. I'll find a new word to represent what it feels like to be a PAX.
If I can't find a shirt by the end of the year, a home improvement shirt that says, I don't think so, Tim, I will just have one made. It's got to be out there.
It has to.
Let me find out right now.
It's one of those shirts, though, that totally would exist when the show was on and never come out again.
Right. Well, did I even sound like that? I'll also point out.
Nope, don't do it. Don't do it.
The other elephant in the room is Tim.
I'm so grumpy.
His attitude. I walked in here and I was like, are the lights out because you're casting a spell on me? His attitude is...
I got to say, though, Brett, you were grumpy a couple of weeks ago. So.
What? No, I was. I've never... Not a day in my life. Listen to the entire catalog of the Keep Up Podcast.
It wasn't during the podcast.
You will hear no somber reflections on life.
No.
You will hear no frustration with my creative output. You will hear no grumpiness at all.
Never.
And that's true. And if you think it's not true, it's true. So what were you saying?
I'm not going to go into it anymore. I'm just grumpy.
See what I'm talking about?
I'm just a grumpy boy.
Just unbelievably.
I don't know. Yesterday and today, it was like I'm like a little bomb. Like there's a little fuse, and any tiny thing makes me mad, makes me grumpy.
I could tell. I was like, hey, did you like that video I sent you? And he's like, how about you ever think of never talking to me again? Has that crossed your mind at all?
Well, I guess that was during my grumpy phase, but I watched it and I was like, oh, I got to respond to him. And then I started streaming. And I'm like, oh, I'll give him a quick response.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that my response was my meh response, as Brett would put.
Am I wrong about that, though?
don't.
Tim goes, I think it's solid when he thinks something sucks.
Pretty solid. And not when it sucks, but I have...
Pretty solid.
I have edits.
Yeah, he's got edits.
I have things I'm not happy with.
Yeah.
But I want to throw it out there that I am... If it were to come out in that condition, because I always feel like I hate like editing the things you do, because editing is a creative art in itself. So to be like, I don't like how you
The
did that.
things I do?
Yeah.
That's literally what I'm asking you for.
No, I know, but I always feel bad about it because it's like you're doing it in a way, and I always like your edits. Don't take it as I don't like your edits. But I always like feel bad critiquing things because editing, I think, is an art form in itself. So
I agree with that.
Critiquing art.
I agree with that, but I do that to you. Like when you do our YouTube videos, I'll
Yeah, but it
sometimes
doesn't
be like,
bother
"What
me.
if we?" Why do you think it bothers me?
Because I'm sensitive, Brett.
Wait, because you're sensitive?
Sensitive about other people's feelings.
So am I. I'm very empathetic.
Not sensitive enough, I guess.
So am I wrong to think that it doesn't bother you?
That it doesn't bother. What doesn't bother me?
When I suggest an edit for a YouTube video or something.
You're wrong to it doesn't bother me at all.
Right. That's because I'm empathetic and I'm tuned into how you feel and respond to things. And I'm correct about it.
But I feel bad when I have to edit your things.
But I will tell you what's worse is knowing you have critiques and you just going, I think it's solid.
Because I'm still happy with the product.
Yeah, but it's not, you don't like it.
But,
tell me the edits right now. Do you not like the progress of it? Do you not like
No, the video's fine. It's the audio. I'm just stuck on the audio.
Oh, well, that's fine. If I know that, then we can try to figure something out.
There's nothing we can do right now.
Then get over it.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
So I'm venting my feelings that the audio made me sad, but I also am optimistic because there are ways to make that audio better.
Right.
In a visual format. But it's not bad. It's not bad. But I'm also grumpy, so I might love it, and Grumpy Tim right now doesn't like it.
We've given no context, but we filmed a few interviews at PAX, and we've been talking about doing this for years. And
it really was like a gradual buildup. Like every year we got closer and closer, and it was very satisfying to actually do it.
It really was, because we did after the first one, I was pretty hype. I was like, heck yeah, we did it. I knew we could do it. It went pretty much exactly the way I thought it was going to go.
I hate that. In the position it's in. I think it's going to go
totally
flying.
Fine. It's going to be fine. I will say, those are the videos we're referencing. We got new mics and we used them. I made a call to not put a pop filter on them because I thought it was going to get more of the audio. It was a dumb call. Saying that out loud even sounds idiotic.
In a giant convention where there's millions of noises all around.
So stupid. But also, I was realizing watching it back, I think we needed the pop filter on, we needed the volume up, and they needed to hold it closer.
Closer, yeah. I think it was a trifecta of just like, could have done it better. But, but again, it's not like the audio's horrific or anything.
It's you can hear it. It's just not, when we tested it, I'm holding it at a certain point. So if you guys go and watch it, just know that hopefully it doesn't bother you guys the way it bothers us, but we had a certain expectation, as Grumpy Tim brought up earlier before we started recording, and it was very accurate. Because of that expectation we had, we watched it back and we were like, oh shoot, we could have done this better. The other thing that I noticed that I need to figure out is I cut the worst of it out, but during the interviews, I look a little awkward. I mean, I don't think it comes across too much, but I remember feeling like, it's so important to me. We've had guests on the podcast in the past, and I want it to feel conversational. There's a million nerds out there. I don't mean it in a derogatory way, but sometimes, who are out there and who are like, so what is a video game to you? Or like, tell us about this and that. And
that voice, I think, adds to the non-derogatoriness of it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't pigeonhole anyone in particular.
No, not at all. If you just have a nasal issue or if you're a nerd, it's not you.
Well, a nasal issue. I'm not. I listen. Those are my people. I've had polyps removed from my face. To separate myself from those people.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Continue.
No, you're good. That's. I wouldn't expect anything else from Grumpy Tim.
Grumpy Tim's ready to strike.
No, and like I don't know. It is an art. Like interviewing is an art in itself, and
you were like removing something. You said you were like removing.
I cut out a couple moments where like, I guess it was mostly just trimming the fat, us talking over each other and things like that. But what I was watching it back and I'm always analyzing like, okay, how would I make this better? Because after the interviews, we had before and after, we had great conversations with everyone we interviewed. And I think the interviews came out great because the devs that talked with us, gave us so much cool information, and they 100% go watch those interviews and support these guys' games because they're very, very cool.
Yes.
And I think they're legitimately really interesting, but I'm thinking of it from my end, and I'm like, I barely said anything during the interview, which I think was cool because we wanted to hear from them. But I did feel in the moment, and I hope it doesn't come across in the video as much, but I felt a little like uptight. Like I wanted to make sure I asked them the right question. I felt like I was taking them away from the floor because we're a small operation. There were people there with legit media passes that like at one point we were going to interview this one dude and literally he was like, I got to go do this media thing. You guys seem really, really cool. We didn't bring up the interview or anything. We were literally just chatting. And I was like, I'm going to ask this guy for an interview. And then he was like, I got to do this media thing. And that was I was like, oh yeah, we're just kind of a couple of guys.
We're just guys hanging out. We could probably sneak into some media places.
I think we probably could. Yeah. I don't know what it takes to get a pass, but I
think it's usually a high following on any platform.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I don't know what the threshold is. YouTube's usually like 10,000.
Yeah.
We're
not quite there.
No, but 5,000 might even be close.
Yeah, we're not too far from that. But it was fun. I don't know. I guess I'm just bringing that up because it was an experience where we've done interviews on the podcast, and I feel really comfortable with that. But because this was a shorter form, it's just a very different format.
And I mean, it was in a new environment. It was like the first time we did it with people we were completely unaware of.
Yeah.
This is the first time we met them and we're like, hey, can we interview you?
Right.
But they also are prepared to talk about their game and sell it. So I think it's a great format to do interviews.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get that where you're so like focused on the next question, making sure it looked good, that you weren't, and I don't know if you were receiving the information well, but not like feeding back as much as you think.
That was one of the things. I also realized like I liked to respond to things and be like, oh, cool. Yeah. Like show interest because I was interested. But that was some of the stuff I had to cut out because if you watch any given interview, they ask a question and then it's just silence until that person's done. And then it's a new question. You know what I mean? And that also keeps you from getting the like, every response at the end of a response to a question is like, cool.
Yeah.
And then the next question. So
I can see the value in that being people who like us and see us responding in a positive way to it.
Yes. Yeah.
But I get your angle with it. And I think it was just like you would need a wider vocabulary of like responses. So it didn't feel like you were just saying cool every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
For sure. Cool. I should have just edited that in. Oh, that just made me peek so hard.
Cool. Oh yeah, I forgot. I had to go back.
Brutal. Look at that. No, it wasn't me. I don't think it was. Oh no, you also did.
Yeah, I'm peak lord.
Peaking forever. So yeah, nothing crazy. It's just I like to look back and analyze. And there were a couple moments where we got into conversations about other things, and that felt really good. But it was just kind of cool to finally do it. Back to our original point, we finally did it, and it's like, okay, cool. Like we got the thing done. We learned some things, and my biggest hope is that these interviews introduce some of the games to you guys or to someone on YouTube who otherwise wouldn't have found them, because that was the whole plan there. And we did have some really cool conversations. We found out one of the guys we interviewed was the writer on like one of my favorite side-scrolling platformers. Can you call it is it a platform? It's a platform. It's
like a Castlevania-like almost.
Yeah. It is. Is it
I mean, it's really heavily inspired by Castlevania.
Yeah. It's an incredible game, and I put a lot of hours into it. And we talked to him, did the whole interview, and afterwards just chatting more, which was really important to me because I didn't want it to seem like we were trying to like use them for our platform. You know,
Yep.
I really also am so intrigued about the whole like dev process. And he's like, "Yeah, did you play this game?" And we were like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I wrote that." And we were both like, "What?" So cool.
Yeah.
PAX is so cool for stuff like that. And then outside of that, overall, how was PAX for you?
I thought it was I was going to say pretty solid, but we all know that means meh, apparently.
Yeah. Well,
I thought
oh, now.
I thought it was really fun. I was a little nervous going into it because it was severely lacking in a lot of big companies.
Yeah.
Like Xbox, Sony. I mean, everybody is usually there.
Nintendo was just Pokemon this year.
Just Pokemon, yeah. And we didn't even go to that booth.
No.
Because it was like the trading card game. And I guess there was two of them. There was one that was trading card and something like game-based. But there's no new games coming out or anything. So it's like... technically, there's Arceus, or not Arceus, but the Pokemon Legends 2, but they didn't even have that there. So, like, and with the Switch coming out next month, Switch 2.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really surprised they didn't have a big promotion for that. But whatever. It's
weird.
It gave us a much better chance to check out a lot of indies.
Yes.
And we were circling for hours and hours.
Well,
and
we do 16,000 steps.
Yeah.
So, like, that's something crazy.
Yeah, something you both days.
Yeah.
And we just kept finding these little like nooks and crannies of like indie games where we're like, what the heck is this? We've been here for 7 hours and this is the first time we see this. So it was really fun in that regard. And there were so many games we saw. And like previous PAX that we've been to, there's like 150 games that I'm like, this would be awesome if I could play it. And then I got home and I was like, what did I actually see? What were the names of these games? When can I play them? And some of them are like years away, which breaks my heart. But
I always forget that that's a possibility. Like even the interviews we did, one of them is out now, but wasn't at the time, I think. And another one still isn't out. Like I was editing the interview and we were talking with the level designer of this one and he was like, yeah, this will be out in June, like the demo or something. And I was like, oh yeah. Like I forgot that so many of these, and we would ask, this is probably the first year I thought to ask certain developers, like, is this game available? And they'll be like, we're hoping we'll have it by the end of the year, which usually means not,
Right.
because everything gets delayed. It's such a crazy process. But yeah, some of them are years out. And
I'm not going to make fun of you on that one, Brett.
even Grumpy Tim's going to leave that alone.
He's going to leave it alone.
That was a good one. Dude, I was at a soccer game the other day, and Jazz had a soccer game. Bro, the other team he was playing, the goalie kept getting mad and yelling every time he yelled. I mean, every time. The voice crack was insane.
Puberty hitting him hard.
Yeah, dude. So funny. And he's angry, so he's like, come on. And the second time it happened, one of his teammates on the sideline from like pretty far away, like, I want to film this scene because it would be funny. I think our Jazz's team scored. The goalie yells, voice cracks, and you just hear in the distance, that voice crack from one of his teammates. Dude, it was so funny. It was so good.
Kids are cruel.
They are.
Cruel.
But it's fun when you're not the kid on the other end of it.
Exactly. It's fun to laugh at from the outside.
Yeah, and then you grow up and you start a podcast and you become the guy who tells stories about the kid on the other end of it. He took it well, though. He wasn't like being bullied.
He's probably used to it.
He plays sports. Sports.
But yeah, PAX is always a good time. Do you think we'll go next year?
I would like to.
I would as well.
Every time I go, oh my gosh. My interest in video games is a beast that will be fed forever. Because what happens is, like, I go and I want to play all the games there, but it also reminds me of all the games we've played at PAX past and I didn't actually play. So just today, actually, I'm going through and I'm cleaning my studio at home, and what do I find but another pile. I sent you a picture of some from a different PAX of all these cards that we took, because as you mentioned, you can't always remember the names. Sometimes you don't get to play them because there's a line and you're like, we'll come back later. You never go back, whatever. But there's always business cards or postcards that you take so you can remember. You find a pile of those and it's like treasure. I'm like, this is probably $1 on Steam. This has probably been on Game Pass for months. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's the joy of that, is like forgetting about it for years. And you're like, I think all of these are out now.
Yeah.
Or you see some that never made it, some that failed, or some that were really bad.
And you still get to cross it off the list.
It's true.
I don't have to play this one
Beat
anymore.
it. All done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always loved my time there. The food was good.
The food was good. The food was good. Yeah.
We usually bring food, but we are woefully underprepared.
Yeah, we really were. It's funny because the week before, I had this whole plan. I was like, I'm going to get this many protein bars, bring a couple bananas, I'll be good. Literally showed up with nothing. Like nothing.
I was asking you on the car right there. I'm like, Brett, did you bring any food?
I was like, no.
I had a protein shake.
You had snacks I took from you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I brought I was thinking like we'll be hanging out in the room, and one year we brought a big thing of cheese balls, but both of us are eating kind of healthy, so I like avoided bringing snacks.
The cheese balls, dude.
The cheese balls were so fun.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I didn't feel great halfway through day one.
Yes.
But the food was good. We got chicken and mac and cheese.
Yeah, which was great. Brett got an extra piece, and I'm still bitter about it.
I did.
I think that's where Grumpy Tim came from.
That's where it started.
The rage was like building
You've
on the
been
inside.
one chicken too low since PAX.
And I'm like, Brett stole my chicken.
Oh, man. You know what I'm realizing? We filmed a vlog, and that will be out sooner than later. I don't know that we filmed anything in the hotel, did we?
Other than you jumping on the bed.
Yeah, which is so silly. That's like a perfect interval between days 1 and 2.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah,
dude.
we didn't do too much.
We didn't, no.
We took a shower.
That felt like a long day. You had a job interview that morning.
Yeah, that was a long.
I slept over here. We got up early, took Tim to a job interview, drove down to PAX. It was a full day.
It was a full day, and then
full.
it was Mom's birthday, so we
That's
had to take her out to dinner. Not had to, wanted to.
Yeah,
take her out.
we had to celebrate our mother.
That place was fun though.
That place was great, and Mom seemed to have the time of her life.
Yes.
Am I wrong? She seemed like she had a great
I think she was
time.
so happy about it.
Yeah, she loved it. You picked the spot.
Yes.
She was so proud of you.
I know.
Yep.
And it's funny. People underestimate that I actually am an adult at times.
I knew it was you. You know.
You knew it
I
was
knew.
me. It was never anybody else.
No, it was never anybody else, dude.
But yeah, PAX was a great time. We also did Free Comic Book Day.
Yes, dude, we had a couple of nerdy weeks.
Yeah.
Free comic book day was crazy. I came home with 30 books, I think.
We got so many. And so reading on the internet and talking to my friends and stuff, we must have some magical comic place because everybody always has a limit of 2 or 3.
Dude, there was one place near us, and I'm not telling anyone where or what it is. But they don't limit.
No.
You get
or they do and we just don't know.
I don't know, man. I look for signs. I mean, I walked out with a stack.
Yeah. Yeah, we got at least the majority of our comics there because the first place we went to was 3, right? Or 5?
5.
Or it was 4 and then an Archie comic or something. It was
yeah.
it's some weird rule.
You can have 4 and Archie. It's all right.
Okay.
You try to get rid of those or something.
And so that had a pretty good selection. Honestly, it had some things that weren't there at our amazing place that had everything. And then we went to a third one and it was 3. The limit was 3 there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's wild to me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
I'll confess. Mm-hmm. I mean, I usually, if I'll take the limit.
Yep.
And then I pick up a couple to see, maybe do I want to get these? And sometimes I forget they're in my pile.
Yeah,
you know?
so you leave and you're like, how did I end up with 7 extra issues?
I'm not taking the last of anything.
Mm-hmm. But you see there's a big stack, you know? Those comics, there's plenty of other comic places around.
It's not my most noble attribute.
Yeah. I don't traditionally do that.
But can one steal free comics? This is the question.
There's an episode of SpongeBob where it's Free Balloon Day. And SpongeBob and Patrick steal a balloon not knowing it's Free Balloon Day. And the whole episode's them going out on running away from the police because they think they're going to get arrested.
Right.
And then eventually they turn themselves in and they go to jail for 15 seconds.
I would do the time.
Yeah.
For the issues that I took. Mm-hmm. 15 seconds per, I don't know. That might be a while.
That might be a little too long.
That might be a whole half hour.
Mm-hmm. I guess, is it breaking the law? That's an interesting moral conundrum.
If they have it posted that there's a limit, there's an argument there. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's posted at our favorite spot.
No.
And I believe that their intention is to let you take whatever.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. That also, for many places, that is my favorite comic shop. Mm-hmm. They're so sick.
It's so sick. Everything. They got so many comics. They have so many cool collectibles.
So good.
I didn't even go to the left side of the room where there was 8 or 12 famous comic book artists.
Yeah, I know. I didn't end up over there either.
I feel bad if I don't know what they did.
That's my thing too.
And you could strike a conversation and be like, "Hey, what'd you do?" But
yeah, and now that you're saying that, if I were there trying to showcase my stuff, I'd probably love for someone to walk up and be like, "Hey, I'm not familiar with your stuff. What do you do?" But you could get someone who's like, "Oh, you're not familiar with my stuff?"
I did Spawn number 97.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, right. How cool. But I didn't know any of them, so. Plus, what if they do something that's not cool? What if you're like, "Oh, that art's bad."
Oh, cool.
Cool. And then go to that guy right next to him.
Yeah.
Move right over.
Cool. What do you do?
Oh, shoot.
Do we jump into a review?
I think so. I mean, you got anything else? Oh, what's your weight right now? If you want to disclose it.
Yeah, I'm at I think 263.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep fluctuating up and down.
Couple
good days, couple bad days.
Yeah, I know, because we had a lot of parties and birthdays and things that required us to go a little bit off the rails. So I was a little bit too hard on myself, I think, because with my diet, I'm totally allowed to eat how I eat for an extended period of time and not really worry about it. But I'm always strict about it. But I was too.
What do you mean you're allowed to eat how you eat? I'm shooting for a calorie deficit, right?
But I also am eating super healthy on top of it.
Sure,
But I
yeah.
can do the calorie deficit and eat ramen and chicken nuggets and all that stuff.
Right.
But I just choose to eat healthier. But when I'm still in my calorie deficit, but eat bad stuff, I'm still hard on myself, and I shouldn't be. And it's not even bad. It's just like, not as nutritious.
Sure.
So after those events, I was like, okay, I gotta really like lock down. I really gotta go hard. And I didn't even gain any weight. I didn't.
You didn't?
Not when we were eating bad. No, now I just hit
That's awesome.
250 today.
250. Wow.
I haven't cracked it. I was so close. It's 250.6.
Well, dude, that's awesome because you were stuck at 254 for like.
Yeah, I was going up a little bit and down a little bit, but
Yeah.
I was staying in that for like a week and a half.
That's
if
awesome.
not more. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I keep starting and stopping. I was doing no sugar. I did it for like a week, crushed
It's
it.
so
I felt
hard
great.
when you cut something like that.
Yeah, it is
makes
hard.
it extreme. But if you can do it,
Yeah, and
golden.
it's like it's what I want to do. I have
Yeah.
done things in the past where I'm like I'm just trying to be extreme and that it doesn't really work out. But I know the benefits of that, and I've had like not crazy health issues, but things that are like I know inflammation is a part of it and stuff like that. I just want to get healthier in general, but I've just been like up and down, back and forth, and so I've kind of stayed in the same place. But that's so cool that you got over that that plateau because I've been there and that sucks.
I think that's just how my weight loss goes. That I like
That's healthy weight loss. That's what it should be because your skin, your body's catching up to the weight you've lost. So it will regulate for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but that's where a lot of people get frustrated, especially if they were losing for a little while. And because you'll lose fast, we're both bigger guys.
Yeah.
We'll lose faster, than someone who's like closer to fit than we are. So you get stoked. You're like, heck yeah, I lose 10 pounds a week.
Right,
That's
it's like, this is awesome. And then you plateau for 2 weeks and like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
But that's a good way to
It's
put it. Like
nothing.
your body is catching up to the weight loss.
Yeah.
Because you are still like, if you're not gaining weight, then you're still either losing weight or being like flat. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being at a maintenance cost of calories.
Right. Yeah, because your body's still using what you're putting in it. You know what I mean? So that's good. It should level out for a little while. And that's the thing. Even knowing that, I hit those points and I'm like,
I was grow so impatient because I'm like, I'm doing everything right. But I
Right.
learned the first time through it, I'm like, I just got to wait it out. And then when I had bad days on top of it being plateauing, my brain was like, I'm just screwing
Right.
myself over. But they weren't even bad days. Like they weren't.
Right.
I probably wasn't even eating too high. I was.
I bet if you calculated those days, you'd be like, oh, I was like, maybe you were 500 calories over.
Yeah.
But if you've had 5 days of a calorie deficit, it's not going to be that big of a deal.
Especially with my
long time.
calorie deficit being, 1,000 calories plus.
Yeah.
Like I'm still hitting really obnoxiously high numbers with those. So I was just hard on myself. But
I get that. Well, I'm glad you got through it.
Yeah.
And you didn't binge your way out of it or anything, because that would be a bummer. I am angry that I now have about 13 pounds to catch up to you.
dude, you can lose it easy.
People keep telling me that.
Easy. I'm stoked to crack 250 though.
That's going to be awesome.
240 again is the lowest I've ever been. So getting to that and then cracking that.
You're not far, dude.
No.
I would say, if you stay on track, a couple months, I got to get one of those treadmills you got.
So it's a cheat code, man.
The time I could spend at home working on a computer just ripping through calories.
And you can even do like the slow one and do it for like 2 hours or whatever. Like you don't have to do anything fast.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just the steps.
I gotta
Just getting those steps, yeah.
Maybe I'll order one tonight. Screw it.
You should.
I can't afford it, but once I get ripped, I'll be making money modeling and stuff.
Right.
It'll pay for itself.
It'll do amazing things for you.
How often you got to oil that thing?
So if you use it every day, oil it, he says.
Don't you have to do something?
You got to lube it.
Let's call it oiling.
Okay, that's fine. So if you use it every day, you have to do it once a month.
It's not bad.
No, not at all. And, you can realign it on the bottom too because the track will sometimes go off. But compared to the first one I had to fix it like almost every other day. This one, I've only had to align it twice, and I've been using it since the end of March.
Can you send me a link?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's excellent, the one I have.
Ripped boys.
Ripped boys.
Ripped boys. Ripped.
I also chopped down a tree the other day.
I saw that, dude.
Dude.
Goodness gracious.
That was my hands. They're recovering now, but I got wicked bad.
Is that what that's
blisters.
from?
Yeah, all over my hands.
Holy bananas.
Yep, it was. So the gloves I was using were like ripping up my hands, and I didn't realize until like 20 minutes in. I'm like, why does this hurt so much? I pulled it off. I was like, oh,
That was from the gloves?
Yeah.
Was it stitching or something? What, the bugs?
is there a bug in here?
I don't know. It's either a bug or a fuzzy fuzz.
Yeah, it was like really old, really old gardening gloves, I guess, and the inside was all just like There wasn't even any soft padding in it. But I've used them for a long time. But I think they were like Puppas or like Nanas. Like they're old. So then I switched to another pair of gloves and it was better. But yeah, they were chunkier and worse a couple days ago. But,
Bro, those are thick blisties.
But it was a good test of like how I feel doing physical work since like working out and stuff. And I would like my fatigue. It took me an hour and a half to be like exhausted, but that was like straight up hacking and slashing and like moving heavy things. It felt good.
That rules, dude. This guy over here.
I know.
Isn't it nice? You're lighter.
Yeah.
You're bouncing around, doing
everything,
flips.
I get it. I get what all those health nuts are talking about.
Yeah.
Call me healthy Tim.
It really is it's a progression too, because you're like, oh, this feels better. Why would I let it go? And then you're like, what else can I do? And then you're like, I can do one backflip. What if I do two backflips?
Dude, that would be sick. I'm still not as flexible as I thought I'd be, though.
Dude.
Flexibility's hard.
Flexibility is hard. I just got the go-ahead. I had a back injury, and I just got the go-ahead from my physical therapist to start going back to the gym. And, bro, the stuff he's having me do, I'm realizing how flexible I'm not and, like, never was. And I thought... there was a time where, like, I couldn't touch the ground. Like, I couldn't stretch down and touch the ground. And I can now, but... Like, he's having me do things that I'm like, literally didn't know my body was supposed to be able to do that. And he's like, oh, yeah, you got to work on this.
You got to do
like,
that.
Dude,
yeah.
When am I going to need this? I'm not Spider-Man. But I do want to be more flexible.
Yeah, it's, and, I do wonder if I'll hit a point where I'm like, I don't think I'm the flexible type. Like, I feel like some bodies are built in certain ways. You can get yourself to do it, but I don't know, like, if it's going to mix with me as much as I want to be flexible. But.
Yeah, I think it depends what you want to do. Like, if you switched over to, like, yoga type workouts or there are some people who primarily do. I see this woman at my gym, dude. She's older. I almost feel bad putting an age on her because she looks great, but you can tell she's mature. She's got to be 60s at least, I would say. But bro,
60-year-olds, you're too old.
I have never seen. And no, I have never seen anyone. I don't know what to call that trope that we have.
It's called madness. But is what it is.
It makes Grumpy Tim grumpier. It turns Grumpy Tim into the second tier boss. She literally stretches in ways that I'm like she'll put her like heel on a squat machine and like bend to the floor with one leg. Like I saw her do a back bend, like completely in half. She's like folding herself in half. Oof. But all she does is come to the gym and stretch. And she must feel amazing and like loose because there's so many.
Why doesn't she just do it at home? I guess she uses some of the machines.
She does use some of the machines. Yeah.
I was going to say, like, if you're just stretching.
And sometimes, to be fair, the gym is kind of like a vibe. You know what I mean?
It's a good zone to get in.
How is this chair wicked creaky?
I think I usually get that chair, but you got it.
Brother, we need new chairs. We need new mics. We need new lights.
We need a new studio.
That's real.
And we call it a studio. It's my bedroom, guys. I'm sorry to break the fourth wall.
You do have 2 Jurassic Park hats.
Yeah.
Give me that one.
No. Maybe you can have that one. No.
You heard it here on the... What, I was too excited? Grumpy Tim's a jerk.
He tries to go for like dry British humor and it misses a lot.
No, it landed.
I can't believe we both didn't wear our new fancy shirts.
I thought about grabbing mine and I didn't. I
put it on the other day. It's a nice shirt.
Dude, so nice, right?
Super comfortable.
Which one did you get?
The blue Oni one.
Yeah. So this is another thing. This is so cool to me, and I wish we interviewed them. I bet we could get them for an interview, like on Zoom or something, though. Maybe. I don't know. There are these companies that it's like nerd-influenced streetwear, and it's this whole... there is a company called Nerds. This company that we're talking about is Bosuman, and then there's another company called BB Sama that I definitely saw a few years back at PAX. And Bosuman, we kept going to this booth because they had these just the gnarliest designs.
Everything was so good.
Yeah, and I started asking then some questions, like, because a lot of those companies, I always wonder, like, where does the art come from? And at first I wasn't sure if it was original art, and it is. It's all like, it's anime inspired, but not even strictly anime. Largely, I guess.
Yeah, some were like I mean, they had all different aspects of it. So, like, my shirt, which I'm not wearing right now, was a love letter to the fighting game community. It was, like, specifically made to be like, we love fighting games. We love the community. So this is a shirt for you guys. Like, if you're into fighting games, wear it with pride, you know? Like, so the shirts sometimes have an objective beyond just being cool art, where they represent more than just what's on it.
Right. Yeah, and the one I got was, like, multiple different panels of a... like manga style race car, and it just, I don't know, the layout's so dope and just really unique. Every shirt just had such a unique vibe, and they were, what were they selling them for? 35 bucks?
35, yeah.
Which I could not believe, because a lot of these brands, like if you look up Nerds, and I'm not dogging on them, their stuff's great. Like especially their jackets, unbelievable, but you're in it for like almost a couple $100. And I was just really surprised at the prices of these shirts. But I'm so fascinated by that, like fashion and nerd culture and that crossover, like the streetwear. And there are so many companies. I get blasted with them on Instagram all the time, and my wallet stays empty. But
do you think there's a lot of crossover? Like, do you think gamers would get that merch if they? I don't know how I'm trying to word this, but like, you know, like there's a lot. I'm trying to think how to word it without offending the gamers like you did earlier. The gamers and nerd community. But
I was trying. What I was trying to imitate.
Yes. Go ahead, Brett.
Was someone trying to do an interview but is like bad at it.
Right.
And I have been that guy. And I feel like when I'm that guy, I sound like, what's your favorite video game?
He even goes for the glasses, guys.
I know. Is that appropriation if I don't have glasses? I actually do have glasses. I'm just not wearing them.
Yeah.
I don't mean that as a joke. I mean, my glasses are at home.
Yeah. But it's funny, like, as, you know, you and I are in nerd culture, you're definitely on a cooler level than I am. But when I see merch like that, I'm like, I don't know if I'm cool enough to wear this.
So, okay, that's interesting. I don't say that I'm on a different, like a cooler. We have different interests. Like I like fashion, which I don't think that I don't know. I'm not like high fashion, but I think about like the outfits that I put together and stuff like that, which isn't to say that you don't, but
I definitely don't.
So, okay, you say that you don't, but I guess the point is that you shouldn't have to. Like, you don't have to. I don't, I get made fun of for doing it by a lot of people. Like, wow, you really thought out that outfit. And I'm like, I don't know. I picked a color and went with it.
But it always looks cool. Like,
Thanks,
you have
man.
the shoes that match your clothes.
I don't know
like,
about always.
Dude, you pull it off at least.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, like we both, I'll say it like this. We both days at PAX got a lot of compliments on our outfits.
We did.
Like, whether it was just a shirt we were wearing or whatever. Some guy took a picture of me because I was wearing a Silent Hill shirt.
Which is so funny. It's like you weren't even cosplay or anything.
No, I know. There were literally people there dressed as the full cast of Silent Hill. I was just wearing a shirt, and the guy's like, "Oh, can I take a picture?" And I'm like, "I mean, you can just Google it, but yeah, if you
sure, why not?"
Take a picture. And it took like a long time.
And it's also like it doesn't have the company who made it on it. It's literally just the cover of Silent Hill.
Cover of Silent Hill.
But maybe he just wanted to remember that it existed.
It's out there. It's
or
a banger
he thought
shirt.
You were cute.
That could be. Did look good that day. But yeah, I guess I get what you're saying. If something is, I feel like that might.
But I looked at that shirt, the one I got, and I was like, I have no outfit plans or anything, but I could totally rock this. Like, it's a cool looking shirt. It is like, even though I may not feel like I'm cool enough, I have the confidence that I can wear it and feel cool. Yeah,
that rules. Yeah, I mean, it did. I don't know if this is the question you were trying to ask, but it did make me think, like, is that crossover... Is there? Wow, you're right. It is hard.
Right. I know we both know what we're trying to say.
I think we're saying the same thing. Like,
but how do we articulate it?
Like,
gamers have a certain style.
Yeah. So I even said this. We're at PAX, and it's like we know what we mean, and I don't think anybody would deny this or say it's offensive if you know we're just being honest about it. The gaming community is wild. And I mean, there are a lot of communities like this, but you know, you go to one convention like this, and what I mean by that is there are a lot of, like, there's so many subcultures out there. You know what I mean? Someone who's never been to a metal show would probably go and be like, whoa, there's a lot going on here. But yeah, just like, I think that the question is kind of like if you take your like stereotypical, a version, right? One one character customization of the gaming community is like they're wearing an animal hat and a tail. Maybe they have like mismatched Converse and a backpack covered in pins and just a bunch of colors, like all the colors.
Yes.
And you wonder, like, I don't know if this isn't what you were trying to say, and I'm just digging some weird hole I don't know about. Let me know. But I wonder if that is that person drawn to a booth with like shirts that are specifically made to look like streetwear.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like that doesn't necessarily match their vibe or style.
Yeah, because I saw those shirts and I was like, I will literally build an outfit around that shirt.
Yeah.
Like when I wear that, I got one shirt, dude. It's like a gray, like heathered gray pocket and cuffs on the short sleeves have bunnies and bamboo. Brother. Now that's one for me. I don't know what I'm going to wear with that, but I was like, I'll figure it out.
That's a U shirt all the way, though.
Yeah, I see people keep saying what's me stuff lately, and it's really funny. Not in a bad way. I don't mean funny in a bad way.
Right.
I literally have a message waiting for me right now. Shout out my friend Jordan. You know Jordan.
Jordani.
Miss you, buddy. I haven't seen you in a while.
Rest in peace.
It just says he's not dead.
Oh.
I just haven't talked to him. It says, I don't know why, but this guy reminds me so much of you. I haven't watched it yet, but I can't wait. I can't wait to see. And then Tim saw this bunny shirt and he was like, that's you all day, bro.
100%.
I did buy it. He was right. So, but is that what you were trying to say? Like,
yeah, 100%. That they're the shirts that I see don't necessarily match the, like, again, they might seem a little cooler than the audience that is there at PAX.
Yeah, okay. So you definitely offended everybody, but I get what you're saying.
There was no way I could get around it. So Grumpy Tim, be mad at him. He's not tiptoeing around feelings
This is
today.
a philosophical... This is a philosophical question, though, because then it's like, what do we consider cool and why? You know what I mean? Because I have had people... look at me and say to my face, like, you look cool, like you're so cool. I don't even want to say that out loud. I have had people say that.
You got the tattoos, you got the necklace, the jewelry. It's like, that's cool.
But then I know some people are like might look at what I'm wearing today and be like, what is what is that? Because I'm also really committed to wearing whatever I want. So those things. Whereas I know other people who are very like fashion forward and they legit look like they should be in a magazine every day. Like that's very different. But it's like we put an interesting value on like fashion because like I'm not saying it shouldn't be necessarily. I mean we should never put someone's value in how they dress, of course.
Right.
But it is interesting that we look at that and we're like, huh, that's a different kind of like cool. Whereas I don't know. I guess I should have ended the sentence there. Too many things just went into my brain, and I was like, I'm gonna offend someone, or just say something I don't exactly mean. I'm not worried. I have nothing offensive in my heart towards the gaming community.
Exactly,
so
that's the thing.
Not worried about that.
You don't want to come off as offensive, even if you don't mean it in that way. But sometimes talking bluntly could be harsh.
Yeah, right. And I don't mean it that way. It just is a very like that's what's so wild about the conventions is like you see these types, and I'm sure like even we, brother.
Hello, Pads.
This dog. Like him. Look at this furry.
I know. He's a special kind of cool.
You think he would wear a Bosuman shirt?
Oh, he might. That would be a sweet crossover.
Be a great ad. I wonder if they make pet clothes.
They might.
You know what's funny? I went to a show not long ago, and the coolest shirt they had is this baby blue shirt. Said the band name on it, had a dope image, and I was like, can I get that? And he was like, that's for babies.
Like baby size?
Literally, yeah, it was baby sizes. Oh. It looked real small. So I was like, do you have that in like adult sizes? He was like, nah, man, that's for like babies.
Dude, you gotta have another baby.
I was like, dang it.
So they
now
can
I want it. I don't want to buy it and watch it be on someone else.
Then get injected with Benjamin Button syndrome.
I don't want that, dude. He died weird.
He died young, but old.
He died so young.
But yeah, I think cool is basically up to every person ever.
Oh yeah, of course. But it is interesting what you're saying about like if you see something fashionable that you like, but you don't consider yourself fashionable enough to wear that thing or whatever. Like, but did you get 2 shirts?
I just got one.
Just got the one.
Yep. But yeah, I get some weird shirts that are not like my typical shirts, but that are like cool. Like, what What was the one? Oh, like the Rouge one that says Heartland on it. You got me that for my birthday. And that is like, that's something that I don't know if I'd be brave enough to buy, but I'm brave enough to wear.
But you're brave enough to wear.
Exactly.
That's the thing. That felt like a little bit of a risk to me.
But I love that shirt. I wear it any chance I get.
Let's go.
Because it's so cool.
Let's go.
And I get compliments on it.
It's great. Yeah, it's Heartland, right?
Yeah, Heartland. Yeah. But it looks like it says husband across.
It totally looks like it says husband. But yeah, Heartland is one of those ones that like they cross over like nerd culture and streetwear, and there's just so many of them, dude. And it's like you can kind of do whatever you want with them, but it is like I see it and I'm like, okay, what shoes would I wear with that shirt? And someone else might see it and just be like, I'm gonna wear that Spider-Man shirt. You know what I mean? It is funny how people. It's just like it's an extension of hobby to me, like fashion in general. And like I said, it's funny you get both like, I've met people who make fun of someone for like not being fashionable. I've met people who will make fun of someone for being too fashionable, and just stop making fun of people.
That's it. Just stop being a jerk.
It's not really what we were talking. Don't be grumpy, Tim.
Grumpy Tim's gonna slap you if you're a jerk.
Be PAX, Tim.
Hope you enjoy that smell, by the way.
What smell?
Oh, you don't smell it?
Oh, just the basement?
Just the basement.
Brother.
The smell of mildew and death.
It is not good.
It's delicious.
It's not good. It's not delicious. It's not good.
All right, let's rush into a couple of reviews.
You want to?
I mean, we don't have to, I
No,
guess.
we can't. I just thought we were going to.
I really want to talk about the game, at least.
Which one you want to do?
The hair one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We technically posted a review of the other thing we were talking about.
But some people don't see the video.
But
do
we mention it?
Yeah.
Listen. Do we need to go into a whole category?
Nah, let's just say.
On Free Comic Book Day, we ended the day with a viewing of Thunderbolts.
Yes.
And we both loved it.
It was so much fun. It had a lot of heart.
So much.
Like way more heart than I expected.
Yeah.
Because the team that you get, unlike Avengers, you have to view like a bunch of different things. You have to watch the Black Widow movie. You have to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. You have to watch like the TV, and like you feel like the knowledge on these characters is a lot tougher, and especially because it's like villains and like side characters in some.
Yeah, actually, so you named some of them: Black Widow, Hawkeye, technically.
Yes. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Ant-Man, and Wasp.
Yep.
Who am I missing? Oh, that's it, I think.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything.
Yeah.
But it feels like such weird viewing as opposed to like an Avengers movie where I guess technically you have to watch all the Avengers movies.
You have to watch more movies, but it's like, it's different than a bunch of peripheral, like two random movies. One of them's a sequel.
Yeah.
One of them barely came out.
I guess technically if you're following Bucky, you need to watch Captain America, Winter Soldier at least.
Cap, Civil War.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, all that.
Yeah, you need a lot.
But it is funny because it's like characters that going into the movie, I didn't remember like half of them. I'm
Same.
like, who is this? Where did they come from?
Yeah.
But they all had amazing moments that stood out.
Yeah.
It really developed their characters more. It made me like them all a lot more.
Yeah,
even
same.
characters that are like not cool.
They did a great job with that because you are seeing characters that are previously unlikable.
Yeah, who are potentially villains in the movies. All of them, I think.
And they somehow bring it around. Like some of them we got like in Black Widow and in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
We saw a more likable side, but this whole like the whole angle they took with Thunderbolts and making it as emotional as they did, I definitely teared up at least 2 times and had to like hold back. I didn't even hold them back. I cried a little bit. And it was a great experience. And the more I thought about it afterwards, the more hype I was on it. I do think, you don't have to agree with me on this, I think it's getting a little overhyped with people saying it's the greatest Marvel movie ever made. I think we're having a hell of a comeback, which is great. But I am, when I'm seeing reviews that are like, this is the best Marvel movie, the best superhero ever made, I think they're jumping ship a little bit.
I haven't seen those reviews, and I think they're crazy.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
It's not.
They're out
it's
there.
It's good. It's really good, but it's not like the best thing ever.
I saw it it was like an ad the other day. It was like, I don't know who they were quoting, but it was like the best Marvel movie to date. And I was like, I mean, reel it in a little bit.
They probably got a random like YouTube review.
It just credits a tweet.
Yeah, so it was still really good though. Definitely go check it out in the theaters if you can, or wait till
Keeper.
Keeper. Was there anything else? Oh, and the last thing I'll say on this, what do you think about Marvel like revealing or continuing the promotional side of it? Have you seen like what has happened since the movie came out.
Like with the asterisk and stuff?
Yeah.
It was a little fast.
Wicked fast. Like, it was, I think, legit the week after it came out. I'm glad we saw it when we did.
Me too. We just made the cutoff.
Just made it. Yeah, it was like the day after.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of, it's not like, it doesn't hurt anything, but people might be mad enough to not go see it because of like the things they're revealing from it.
I think it was a little bit, they were shooting themselves in the foot a little bit because people might see it. See those, the change in marketing.
Yes.
Who have not seen the movie yet, but they know what characters are in the movie. And without seeing the movie, you could easily be like, what?
Yeah.
You know? So I think that was a little bit of a, I don't know. I don't know if I would have gone that route.
At least not as soon.
As soon.
If they wanted to do it like a month from now or whatever, that's fine.
But maybe because the reviews and everything were so positive, and I'm sure numbers were great. A lot of people saw it, so maybe they just felt confident going with it. But yeah, it was a little early. If you guys do want to hear more on it, we did something we actually haven't done before. We did a ride home review where right after we saw the movie, we just threw on mics and filmed us on the way home talking about it. So if you want a little bit longer review, that is on our YouTube page. And I will take this time now to say, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, head on over there. We are the Keep Up Podcast on YouTube. You can sub there, find this video and like it. Find another video that you like and like it. If you like it.
That's a lot of liking.
It's only if you like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you like it.
Sub, share the videos you like. But yeah, more Thunderbolts on the YouTube channel if you want to find that. Great movie. You should see it.
Yeah, super fun.
Super fun. And now we can go to video games.
Yeah.
Video games. When we got home from PAX, I was like, actually, I had to go play a show. And
Brett had the most insane week.
It was a crazy week. And honestly, this week's pretty wild too. But that weekend in particular was nuts. So I had a show that night, which was awesome. Go check out House Lights. If you haven't heard House Lights, they put out a new EP last Friday. And
they were so good, they took mine.
It so oddly appropriate. And the EP bangs. And, near the end, a rapper shows up and ruins the whole thing. But
yeah, I heard like animatronic the Abolisher or something shows up.
Bad. Real bad. Yeah. But everything around that, awesome. And that was like their release day show. So I was going to play there. I'm the rapper who ruins the EP, so I went and did that song with them. But when we got back from PAX, all I wanted to do was play video games. I was stoked to play the show. House Lights, don't hear me wrong. I was excited about the show. But that meant I got home at about midnight, and I had a choice to make. Am I going to bed or am I playing video games?
And he went to bed, guys. That's the end of the story.
So we'll see you next time on the Keep Up Podcast. No, I stayed up, and not only did I play a game I was in the middle of, but then I started a new one. And it's because of all the indies we were playing. I was like, I got to see, I'll just check what's on Game Pass. It was, I think, 1 a.m. at this point. And I found a game called Mullet Madjack.
Yes.
I actually had it download already. I forgot that I had downloaded it.
That's the thing with Game Pass is like a game will come out, I'll download it and be like, I'll play you. And then like 3 months will go by and I'm like, I forgot this came out.
And then you go to play it and it's like, you need to own this game to play it.
It's like, what do you mean?
It's gone now.
I always check at least once a month of the Leaving Soon games.
Smart.
Because sometimes also if you click a game, it'll tell you how many days until it disappears. Yes. I recently finished the final case of Benedict Fox, I think.
Okay, sounds right.
And I'm not talking about that now, but that was fun. But it was a rush. I had 3 days to beat it.
Dude, I did it with friggin' Alien Isolation.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I made it by a day.
Barely made it, and that game's long too.
Yeah, it was long. That was a grind.
But you pulled up Mullet Madjack.
Mullet Madjack.
Madjack.
Yep.
Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead. It's your story.
No. I told enough of my story. Talk about Mullet Madjack.
I just want to say that I have known about this game for about a year, I think. I bought it on Steam when it came out.
Oh, really?
Because it looked amazing.
Yeah.
It looked so good. And I think it was on sale for like $10 or something, like when I got it. Because it was on PC for a little while, then recently came to consoles.
Because when you read the description, it's right away like, this is a 90s action anime-inspired, fast-paced, first-person game.
Yes.
It's like, all right, all those things sound awesome.
Right. And you look at it, and it just seems like a insane fantasy.
Yeah, it's wacky. And I think I was going to say, I said 90s, but it's very 80s inspired too, actually. Is it 90s anime inspired?
90s anime inspired, for sure, yeah. But a lot of the 90s anime is based off of like 80s
like
style.
culture,
Yeah. So that's why it kind of feels like a mix of both. But so I knew about that game, and then you played it and texted me the next day, and you're like, have you heard of Mullet Madjack? And I was very similar. I was very in the mood to play something new. I was playing my old games, but I'm like, I need a straight up injection of indie adrenaline into my soul.
And oh boy,
did Brett pick the perfect game. And I was like, okay, because he challenged me. He was like, hey, do the first mission, tell me your difficulty, and see how long it takes you to beat the first level. I'm like, I got this. Beat it first try, no problem.
Yeah, not my situation. That was not my experience.
But boy, was that game freaking, it was incredible to jump into.
Dude, it's so fun. I played it for probably an hour because the whole concept of the game is you're in the future, and the game's so well done. There's on the menu, you can select an unboxing, and it's all pitched as this retro thing where, like, back in the day, they used to have game manuals. And it's funny because it's appropriate for now, because we've had that conversation how many times. I'm sure you guys can relate. And they take us like far into the future where they're talking about they used to have physical games and people used to like use real flashlights instead of their phones. And it's very much like a mockery of our modern time, while putting you in this futuristic world and being nostalgic in a way that like works right now. But then when you get into the game, you play as a retro human who is trying to take down these robot billionaires, and every level you have 10 seconds to get through the level. You start with 10 seconds. The time is your health. If you get hit by a robot, your time cuts down. And the only way to keep the timer where it's at is to kill things. But you can never go over, unless you get an upgrade of some sort, you can never go over the 10 seconds.
You can keep refilling it as you're killing guys, and it's also stylishly killing them. So, yeah, you can just shoot guys a bunch, and you'll get a second at a time. But there are... Sorry.
Tim almost drowned.
I know. What the heck? There are environmental hazards that you can kick them into, or holes, or you can pick up melee weapons and do these dramatic, like, crazy Doom level executions.
Yeah, they're like Doom executions, right?
Yep. And so it just has such a nice flow because the 10 seconds is so stress-inducing.
It's so you can't look at anything. You can't look at your health. You know, it tells you all this stuff. It's like you can press this button to do this. You can dash with the left trigger or with Y, but the left trigger is also a kick and will use your weapons. And I'm just like, I need to pick one and just hit that one because you can't look at anything.
I did the whole game jamming the left trigger.
You did, yeah.
So I was using my weapons immediately when I got them, but I was able to do it. So.
Yeah, it feels more worth it. But then there's also alternate paths, and the game does encourage you to, it's not all about speed, it's about the flow. And you do get to a point where you can look around for enemies, not for long, but if you find one near a hazard, then you kick it into that, you get a little bit extra. On top of all this, the colors and the environments and the art is so cool and so vibrant.
The saturation.
Yeah.
To like 12. They do 11, goes beyond that. Your eyes are melting the whole playthrough.
Yeah, and you're so locked in. Like, you're like, did I blink by the end of it? Because you're just trying to get to this elevator that will end the level.
Yep.
And you go through 10 of these levels, and then you get to a boss, and that's a checkpoint for you. So once you beat that boss, you get to go on. Okay, I have not died at a boss yet. If you die at the boss, do you go to the beginning? Did you ever die during a boss?
Did I die during a boss? I don't recall. I think you do.
Go back to the beginning of that.
Of that set of 10.
Rough.
Which, how much does that suck? Yeah, what boss was it? I forgot which one, but...
I'm sure I'll find out.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it is a roguelike in the sense, at least, where you are constantly rebuilding your character every 10 floors.
Yeah.
And if you lose on any floor, you get sent back to the beginning of that set of 10. So it's not as punishing as a roguelike, but you do.
Right.
But the runs, like your items and weapons you can pick up are a pretty small pool. So like your runs can be pretty much similar to the last one if you balance everything right.
I do really like the way those aspects are put into the game because it doesn't feel like it's enough for me to be like, you know what I mean? Like there are a couple
times
when you
get to like level 7 or 8 or whatever.
It happened to me today, and it was because I missed. They have these soda machines, and if you kick
those are so important.
They're the best. They like bring you back to life. I missed one. I tried to kick one. I was down to 2 seconds. I missed it. I was on like level 8 of this run, and I died.
Floor 70 to 70 or to 80 is so hard.
I think that's the one where I died.
Yeah, it's so challenging.
It was so frustrating. They're throwing so much at you, and there's new enemies. There's a guy with 2 chainsaws for hands. There's this ghost samurai thing.
Yep.
And they're all like robots with like I don't know, like they're like fleshy, blood-filled robots.
Yeah,
like
why
they're
are
so
they bleeding?
weird. I don't know, but they just like, and the game's very self-aware. It's
Yes.
very, very funny. They're one of the upgrades you can get, or not an upgrade, but an item you can pick up is just to make your character say more one-liners.
And it's so funny. Have you picked it yet?
I picked it and I died right away.
Oh, no.
I was so mad.
He'll say something like every 10 seconds.
Really?
It's so obnoxious, but wicked funny.
I gotta try to get it again because some of the stuff he says is just like stop scrolling social media, and then he like drinks a soda can.
Yeah.
It's just like
It's like
the
Duke
best.
Nukem energy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. I mean, it is so well crafted, and there's even more than just the main story. There's an endless mode where you can just get as far as you want. They also do have a no time limit mode, so if that stresses you out, you can play it like a Doom.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and that mode's really cool because you have health. So
Oh.
your phone, like because you hold a phone with the timer,
Yeah.
it just becomes like a Doom health meter.
That's fun.
So yeah, and you get an achievement for playing it that way too. So
Cool.
but yeah, you can just play it like a Doom shooter if you don't like it. If you don't like the stress of the time, and there's a ton of difficulties. So did you know on the hardest difficulty, you can only get time from doing environmental kills and like cool kills.
No.
So shots and like headshots
Don't
and stuff
count.
don't count. You had to get cool kills.
My goodness.
I tried it. I'm like,
Yeah,
no way.
not
It's
doing
so
it.
hard, and you die in like a shot. Like it's because it's harder difficulty, and
Yeah.
you have to be really good. So.
Dude, the other thing is like I've had some really close calls, and there's one item you can get that's called slow motion, and when you're down to 3 seconds, it puts you in slow mo, and that's so cool. Like just coming back from that. Sometimes I was too far gone and I died anyways, but the difficulties, that was my challenge to Tim because there's like an easier mode, an easy mode, then a lenient, which is like essentially your medium kind of, but then right above that is the dev intended like medium essentially. And the one I'm picking, I think you just get 1 extra second, and I think the enemies do a little bit less damage. I tried it on the dev intended, and I died like 7 times in the first level.
It's tough. It's.
But then you beat the whole game.
I did
on
beat
that level.
in a sitting.
In
yeah.
one sitting. He's like, yeah, it's hard. I think Grumpy Tim went away because that was definitely nice Tim being like, yeah, it's tough. I beat it in 20 minutes in one sitting, but I could see how it could be difficult.
It took me about like 2.5 hours to beat it in one sitting, and it was there were some challenging moments though. I mean, there was like a set of floors that I died a lot on. I think it was like 50 to 60 or something like that.
Did you have much loading time when you died?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's because I'm on an Xbox One, but what's killing me is like the game is so fast paced. Like it's meant to literally not stop.
Yeah.
Every time I would die, it's about maybe a minute of loading time to get me back.
It wasn't that long for me.
Yeah, it's a bummer. It slows me down a little bit.
But does the game slow down for you at all otherwise?
No.
Nice.
No, it's
'cause
just that moment.
game needs like it's got to be going 120 frames per second.
Oh
It's
my
so
gosh.
fast.
It's so fast. It's a blast. If you have Game Pass, or even if you have to buy it, I can't imagine it's wildly expensive. But whatever they're selling it for, I'd say it's worth it.
Yeah. It is such a fun indie game, and that's why I love indie games, because you can get the most insane experiences from them that any of these $60 experiences just might not hit, might not even get close to hitting.
It captures like an arcade vibe in this game too, where you're like, you're trying and you're trying and you're trying, and once you finally get to the end, you're like, yes, like I finally did it. It's I don't know. Yeah, indies do always have a little bit of heart that not every AAA title has, and I think that's what they're good for, man. A lot of independent artists bring that to whatever field they're in, and I, like you said, it was kind of the perfect thing to play right after PAX.
Yeah, because we saw some games that kind of look similar to it.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of that one, but the one that everybody was...
burger and the gun. Yeah, I can't remember what it was called either, but we couldn't play it because
it had such a big line.
Yeah,
but it was exactly what I needed after
very
PAX.
good stuff, man. I'm gonna beat it tonight,
dude.
What's today? Thursday?
Yeah,
might have time.
yeah. It's 7:40 right now.
We'll see. got
But
anything
keeper.
else?
It's a keeper.
Absolute keeper. Absolute keeper. Bing. Oh, no. I'm so mad at you. That's Grumpy Tim again.
Yeah, he's back.
So mean looking. You got, that's it? Nothing else?
No, I mean, I would say I would bring back our old friend, but he has to be dead.
All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us. This has been episode number 312 of the Keep Up Podcast. If you are not, you can follow us and subscribe to us all over the place at the Keep Up Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You can find us on patreon.com/thekeepup, where you can get yourself some extra bonuses. We have a monthly podcast that is exclusive there and to our members on YouTube. We may also start posting some of our videos. Right now we got like 4 videos in the queue on YouTube. We might start posting some of those early on Patreon. So if that's something
First
you guys...
I'm hearing of this.
We kind of discussed it.
Okay.
I just said might.
I'm down for it.
All right, Tim's down for it. If Grumpy Tim's down for it... Tim, why don't you tell everybody where you can find your other stuff?
You guys can find me at Collection Revolution all over the place. That's Instagram, that's Twitter, that's TikTok, that's YouTube, that's Twitch. I just released a vlog of my fitness challenge. So I'm back in March with those. We're in May now, so I'm quite behind in my vlogs, but they're still fun. I made tofu for the first time, so it's my whole process of trying it and making it and all that stuff.
I'm curious about that.
Yeah, they're fun videos. So that just came out on YouTube. Otherwise, Brett, where can everybody find you and your weirdly shaped nose hairs?
I feel like you've used that one before, which is really weird.
It's what's the point?
Anyways, you can find me at This Drink I Like It on Instagram. That's my personal Instagram. There's a link tree there that will get you to my music, my other podcasts, my other music, and other stuff I've done. And feel free to follow me on my personal. There's some, fun photos, goofy videos. If you want to follow me there, you can. Also, Animatronic the Abolisher on all streaming platforms. I will have new music out this year at some point. Thank you very much. Nice. Before we leave, Tim's going to do what's called End Babble, where he talks before we leave, we're going to do what's called End Babble, where Tim talks nonsense for about a minute and a half. Tim, your theme is never being grumpy again. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We love you. See you later. Bye.
Okay. The anger burns inside. When your brother gets an extra chicken tender, you feel the rage.
It was the best one, too.
Fill your soul. Why? Why wasn't it me? Why? Yes, my inner demons. It's time we steal that chicken from the souls of everyone else. And the only way to do that is to take their happiness away. So make the happy boy turn devil. And he shall consume all the souls of happy people and turn them into chicken so he can eat and feel happy again. But the secret, of course, to a happy life, to a happy soul, is not stealing souls and eating chicken. It's playing fun indie games, and the only way to free one's soul is to play the best indie games and have a good time. So to never be grumpy again, Tim shall play indie games for all of time. And so I'll leave you with this. If you're grumpy, it's okay. Other people are going to try to fight you on it. You're allowed to be grumpy. You're allowed to feel whatever you want. Just eventually go back to being happy. Because life's too short to be grumpy all the time. Unless you're dead. Then you can be whatever you were, the last emotion you were. Thank you.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Very cool. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to the Keep Up Podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. You can also find us at patreon.com/thekeepup, where you can support us monthly for as little as $1 per month, and you can get yourself some cool Keep Up merch in our Etsy shop. Links are down below.
Ready to get started?
On what?
We're doing the bumpers, aren't we?
Yes, we're doing the bumpers. Do you have, you got the remote?
Of course.
Just hit record and we're ready to go.
All right.